Hello and welcome to Corridors of Power, your hotline to officers in the hot seat. Today our guest is somebody who was the first officer who was appointed after the change of guard in Tamil Nadu, the ever-friendly Chennai Police Commissioner, Mr. J.K. Tripathi. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on Corridors of Power.
Nice meeting you.
Many say that behind the soft voice and the charming smile, there lies a tough officer who believes in tough policing.
Well, policing has to be tough for those guys who deserve it. Otherwise, I personally feel is that more than 90%, 95% of citizens are law-abiding citizens. So they do deserve a smile. But for those minority who bend the law to their own personal interest, those who indulge in illegal activities, they deserve tough treatment, no doubt.
We've seen that. In fact, when you were, you're an old hand in the Chennai Police when you were even Joint Commissioner South, and I remember covering you extensively also, sir. The crackdown on the rowdy elements and the gangs in Chennai, that continues even today, sir?
Yeah, that continues, and we have already done it in last 100 days. Most of the bigger groups, the gangs which are earlier known to be indulging in extortion, rowdyism, in kidnapping, or even indulging in gang activities, they are no longer there.
Apparently they ran off, many of them scooted to other neighboring states the moment you were appointed as Commissioner.
Yeah, of course, a few of them are not available here, but our teams are after them and they will be brought to book.
Also another crime that's been on the rise in the recent past, that's now in fact a crackdown has been ordered on that across the state, not just in Chennai, is land grabbing. How widespread is land grabbing here, sir, and what measures are being taken now to address these grievances? There is also, there are allegations that there is an element of vendetta here, that there is vindictive action, that some are civil disputes where people come to try and settle essentially civil disputes with the help of the police.
No, there is absolutely no vendetta in this handling of the land grabbing issue. I am absolutely sure about it because we do get a lot of complaints, and we go purely on merit of the complaint, and people have used muscle, money and other power to grab land and properties of the innocent. It has happened. And when we get a complaint, we see the evidence in it, we do conduct a fair investigation, and we are proceeding as per law, purely as per law.
The fact that many of the people who are accused of land grabbing are, are politicians, is that a coincidence, sir?
No, we can call it a coincidence, but then how I look at it is that there is a probability that maybe the power or the money and the government machinery at somebody's disposal are very likely to be misused for such activities. And in Chennai, my experience is that we have different kind of people who have got indulged, who have indulged in land grabbing, and they are not only politicians, but there are real estate sharks. There are other rowdy elements who have taken cover. There are different sections of society who have indulged in this land grabbing. So we are looking at purely on merit, purely on the framework of law, and we have not seen it as a vendetta at all.
Okay, what about civil disputes? Because of the rush of complaints, there could be various people who would come in not knowing what the police role would actually be. What will be the ballpark figure, if you can give us? How many complaints in Chennai received against land grabbing, and how many have gone past the FIR stage?
In fact, there is a very thin line of difference about a particular issue which is civil or criminal. And people do they come to us with a lot of hope when they have been waiting in the courts for a long time. Justice is delayed for them, and they may be looking at a shortcut solution to their problems. People do come, but then if we find the issue is purely civil in nature, we explain them that we have no role to play here. It will be we will be crossing the line of law. So they do understand that. And people do come with maybe some motivated complaints. There are a little bit of percentage where people have tried to settle scores. I mean, we are not blind to all that. We
Any
receive,
ballpark figure, sir, of the number of cases received so far on land grabbing in Chennai?
well, we have close to about 200 plus cases. That is the complaints are received, and we do initially a preliminary inquiry into all that before we decide whether FIR to be lodged or not. And in the preliminary screening, we study the documents, we also take the legal opinion, and after that we do register FIR and commence investigation.
How many would have reached FIR stage, sir, out of the 200 odd?
We have 36 cases which have been registered as FIR, and they are under investigation,
Okay.
and a few more are in the process.
So clearly the police is going about it cautiously and not indiscriminately filing cases.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You may be seeing it from outside that we don't rush to conclusions, nor do we act on any particular direction. We receive the complaint, the people come voluntarily, they meet us. I meet about 150 people per day, and maybe about 5 to 7% are complaint on this land grabbing. Land grabbing also has, we have to see it that in a broader perspective, is that some people occupy properties, not that vacant land, but then properties, occupation of flats, extortion, bargaining, saying that okay, you give me so much of money, then only I'll vacate your flat. I mean, varied type of complaints.
Strong arm tactics.
Yeah. We get all that. So on receiving the complaint, we have a cell, which is a specialized cell, who go into all these things, and then we take a decision about going for a FIR and arrests.
Okay. So now you've got a wider turf now. You've got more work in your hands. With the merger now, the greater police commissionerate coming into being, and of course now it's a question of mergers and acquisitions, not just in the corporate world but also in government today, that now you've annexed suburban Chennai. There are independent commentators on policing who believe that sometimes you run the risk of being too top heavy. How would you respond to that?
No, the government's decision to merge suburban with Chennai police was purely to improve the service delivery to the citizens of suburban, and I am convinced that the merged suburban and Chennai police will definitely serve better the citizens of that area because of 2-3 reasons mainly. Is that the coordination on crimes and criminals has to improve. Earlier we had issues where there are gangs which operated in both areas, and we had coordination, but then if it is under unified coordination, it is much better. And think of traffic. In a fast growing city, you really do not find a justification to draw a border on how you regulate the traffic, because all the inflowing traffic is from that area only. So I am absolutely confident that with the unified traffic management, the people of suburban as well as the city will benefit, and we do get access to better infrastructure, better manpower, and with the community policing initiatives that we are already in Chennai police, we are going to extend it to the extended area. People generally talk about the distance factor, which I don't buy, in the sense that earlier people from Ennur or Satankar, they had to go to St. Thomas Mount, and now if at all they have got any grievances, they can come over to this place. There is hardly any distance involved in it.
And your JC South office is now moved out of...
We have placed all the joint commissioners, not only JC South, all the joint commissioners shall be in their own area. But the basic point here is that in our beat officer system, when we plan to reach out to the people, seeking their support in identifying their problems and solve it there itself, I do not think that there will be much of grievance left for the people to come over to the senior officers and undertake this hardship of travelling a long distance.
So this mountain going to Muhammad and not the other way around.
Exactly.
Also, I think the airport was earlier not under your jurisdiction, which is another thing in the times we live in. Again, VVIP security also.
Yeah.
That was another problem.
I mean, it's all about issues of coordination. So security is one aspect of it. Then, of course, traffic, law and order, and crimes. In all possible ways, if you find that a unified management can ensure better service delivery to the citizens, both the places.
Not too top heavy, sir. You'll have now what, 4 additional commissioners, 4 joint commissioners for law and order, then crime, then traffic.
It is not that way. If you look at other metros, it has to be like this, that at the top it has to be a functional division. Then only you ensure a coordination. If I have got one additional commissioner for law and order, he coordinates entire law and order issues in the entire place. Similarly for the crime, for the headquarters, for the traffic. Whereas the joint commissioners level, it is a jurisdictional control, where we have 4 zones, east, west, north and south. And traffic of course deserves, because it's a huge place, deserve to have 2 joint commissioners. So they will be basically supervising their activities of the subordinates in a limited jurisdiction. It is always good to have closer supervision and to ensure better service.
Also tough measures that we spoke about earlier, sir. Even recently you conducted storming operations, and several troublemakers, antisocial elements have been detained under Gundas Act. When you were Joint Commissioner of Police South Zone, and I said I covered you extensively even then, there were a lot of encounters and the city was cleaned up in a sense. Do you favor similar strong action?
No, that time also we never favored that particular action. It happens like this, that during the course of your discharge of duty, when your life is at stake, sometimes you are forced to take that unpleasant decision. And of course, yes.
But is this a trademark police line that you are giving us? Because many say that there are encounters which are also staged.
No, I don't believe in the staged encounters. It is purely on that particular point of time, what the circumstances demand. I will definitely not like my personnel to be killed by rowdies.
Also again, sir, when you've reached out to various sections. I mean, you're known even in Trichy when you were commissioner. It was an award-winning initiative about reaching out community policing. Now, for instance, there's been this friction between lawyers and the police. How do you plan to actually resolve this and probably reach out to the lawyer community, because they are both, you need 2 hands to clap, there are both sides of the criminal justice system anyway.
We have a better atmosphere now. We do have we have dialogues. We have nothing against any community, and I do not feel there is any special need for us to devise any particular module. But yes, there is a format already in place where the judiciary, the lawyers, the investigating officers, we have forum in which we meet and discuss issues, and we will be continuing with that particular forum and make use of it to sort out differences, if at all anything. But we have a cordial relationship with all the agencies that way, and particularly the lawyers. For the students, yes, we reach out to the colleges, particularly because the ragging issue is involved.
And bus day also.
Bus day, which really puts a lot of inconvenience to the general public. So we do not have any major issues of eve-teasing as such, but then there are certain issues that we have to convey to the students community, that we are taking a proactive measure in that. But our overall community policing initiatives, the beat officer system, then we are reviving all our boys clubs and slum adoption. We have a lot of other helplines which function in the control room. Helpline for the women, for the children, a blue line, green line for pollution. So we are proactively going for a partnership with the NGOs to see and make use of them for overall improvement in the policing in the city.
So corporatization again of policing also, apart from mergers and acquisitions, also public private partnership here, but we'll head into a short break now on Corridors of Power. When we come back, we'll ask the police commissioner about his surprise visits and how he lands up sometimes in disguise at police stations to ensure that they are on their toes all the time. Stay tuned.